what's going to happen is we're going to have some fun. That's the whole point of the interview. So I'm going to ask you, start off with the question of the week. By the way, Ian is a vocalist. He sounds pretty damn good from what I was listening to. And we'll get to that. We'll get to the promo in the end, right? But Ian, we're going to ask you the question of the week. And that question of the week is, if you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you choose to be?
Oh, definitely something with wings, some kind of bird. That I was gonna say a horse off the top of my head, but I think a bird because the fact that you could fly, I think, gives you an extra punch in life. Yeah.
Being able to fly is one of my dreams, which is fantastic. I love that. So I want to talk to you about who you are and the music that you do. So can you just explain to the viewers what exactly you do?
Oh well, I'm an R&B pop singer and songwriter. I've been writing music since I was 14 years old, and I just enjoy music as it is because it's my escapism. So when I create music from the heart. So what people can expect from me is to hear something raw, something real, something with a soul, and that's what I do. I write songs with substance, if that makes sense for everybody. I write songs with substance. I'm not, I do enjoy composition camps and all of that, but writing songs that come from the heart, from a particular story. That's what I think I am. I'm literally like a singer songwriter. I like to perform my own song, even though I love also hearing them in the voice of other artists. I think that that's one of the great experiences in life that people in music have to have, hearing their songs in the voices of others. And what I do, I don't know if it sets me apart from everybody, but I'm not looking to hit a trend and then get on it and then be famous or of course I want to do what I do for a living, right? That I think is the point for everybody, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to do it for the past few years, and but I think that I'm not looking to follow trends as much as I'm looking to set them, and I'm here for the legacy music. So I think that we have a mission. Myself, Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga, and all of those people that are into making real music to return music to real music because I think that the trends are now all fake sounds, all computer sounds. I don't think that that's okay because trendy stuff, well, dies with the trend. And I don't mean that in a bad way, or I don't mean to badmouth people who do it, but that's not what I do. So that's what people can expect. That's what it's about, and I'm on a mission to just give the world a piece of something good so that I can be remembered as a good man.
You know, something that really strikes me in that is it almost goes back to the good old days of R&B and even further than that, jazz and stuff like that, where there's actually feeling in the music versus what some of what is created now is just basically shake your booty and all the rest of it, right?
Right.
That's what a lot of the newer pop is go there and
They're
not
club
necessarily
songs.
express real feelings,
Right.
just the surface level.
Right. And I think that that's okay. And I have a lot of friends who do that kind of music, and I love it. Like, who doesn't like to go to the
Yeah.
club and, hear a banger, and enjoy it? But that's not, I always say, I'm sorry that I'm turning my head. I was telling my fans that we're here live because I had a troubleshoot issue. But
Oh,
um, yeah, I go to the club. I enjoy that, and I have a good time, and I enjoy their music. But that's not what I'm about. I always say, if you're gonna have a kickback or a mega party, the moment you play in Garen is when you're feeding people. When you're in the pre-party, like the pre-Grammy party, when everyone is sipping champagne and having canapes and hors d'oeuvres and all that stuff, and they're chit-chatting and interacting and discussing. That's when you play in Garen. And then you go to the club and play all these artists that I love too. I think they're different branches. I think there's space for everybody in the industry.
I think there is too. I've been an entertainer for 15 years now almost, and when newcomers come in, the old timers are always, well, I'm a grumpy old timer and I don't want new people to come in. But without new people, we don't have evolution, if that
Right.
makes sense. R&B
Right.
is a
Yeah.
very different form of music than it used to be. It's changed the world in many, many ways. Who are some of the influences from that old timer group that you bring into your own music? Not necessarily their music brought into yours, but who have influenced you?
Oh well, nah. It's okay that you say that their music is brought into mine because I am one of those artists. I'm not trying to be anybody else, but I do like my influences to show. Like if I like a riff or a certain vocal mannerism from somebody that I like, and I do it naturally while in recording or while playing the music, then I'll just go with it. I'm not one to say I'm creating something really original. My dad has this phrase that says that, uh, we're in 2020. Practically every genre of music has been discovered and done. Everyone has pioneered on it. So there's nothing that's truly rawly new out there. We're all just trying to find our style. And to have your own style, you don't necessarily have to create something that has been unheard of. It just has to be something that has your stamp on it because what makes it unique is your sound, your print. And I think that that's one of the things that that new artists have lacked to understand at times, that they don't have to create something different in sound. They just have to put themselves into. They don't want to try to be nobody else. So, judging from that perspective, we go to the artists that influenced me. That are, of course, Michael Jackson. I usually wear very heavy, like Michael Jackson, like jackets for these kind of shows. I love it because I think that they are great on camera. But I'm quarantining
Mm-hmm.
at somewhere that's really hot, so I can't wear the jackets now. Because I'd be sweating. It's Michael Jackson, it's Prince, Mariah Carey, of course, Janet Jackson, Tony Bennett, James Brown, Ray Charles, Robin Thicke. Although he's he's younger, but those are the kinds of artists that have moved my life, and I think that Michael, I have The Beautiful Ones by Prince. I'm reading it now. It's really an interesting book. He really did want to change the world with that book. Now, you know how Prince was. Um, but yeah, those are the sounds. Even though my dad is a really big rock fan and he's taught me to hear Van Morrison and the Rolling Stones and Dr. John. I never really got into Dr. John, but he likes me to hear it and hear him and experience his music. And so I enjoy mainly everyone that has substance and that knew his craft and that knew his style and that wanted to share his gift with the world without false pretensions. And I also enjoy the club songs. I enjoy the new ones, and I enjoy artists like Britney and Katy Perry. Katy, not that much, but Kesha and all of those. The Keshas and Britneys of the world, I like them
Yep.
too, and Usher. And yeah, there's a lot of people. I'm attracted to good music, and as Tony Bennett would say, good music is not someone's opinion. So
That's exactly right. So, in the future, how do people contact you? First off, if people wanted to, I don't know if you actually get booked for gigs or not, or if you're just have an agent or something. But how do people contact you if they want you to perform somewhere, or if they want to just contact you to be a fan?
Oh, they go to my social media and they'll find everything they need to know there or my website. I have a website that's iangarenmusic.com, and I have my Instagram page, which is exactly
It's scrolling.
right, right. My Instagram page, I am Ian Garen. They can just go everywhere. They can just type my name on Google. I'm sure they'll find me. Like, sometimes I meet people, girls in the club. Well, when we could go to clubs before all of this happened, and they tell me like, what if you're not who you're saying you are? And I'm like, it's very easy to know who I am, not because I'm famous, but because if you type my name in the internet, everything will pop up. So I can't
Yep.
really hide. And you'll go to my Instagram and you'll see some pictures that have the help of less Photoshop, but you'll see some others that don't. So
Yep. Where do you see yourself going in your career from this point forward? You're a young person, so obviously you've got years and years ahead of you, but where do you actually want to end up when this is all done? Do you want to be on stage with Lady Gaga? Do you want to star in movies, or do you just want to stay with music?
I would love to be in the entertainment world, whatever that is, wherever that is, might say. I'd love to be writing songs. I'd love to be writing songs for the people that I admire. Uh, Love to be collaborating with those with the people that are still alive, of course. Um, that I fan out with, doing music with them. I didn't mention Ariana Grande, but I love her too very much. I think she's a great artist. I would love to write music for her. I would love to sing with her and to sing with Bruno Mars. I'd love to be on stage. Like, one thing that I've noticed during lockdown is that, yeah, I enjoy the behind the scenes work almost as much as I enjoy the stage. But my place is on stage, and I love the camera, and I love, um, the in front of people, and just giving them a good time. I love to I I'm not trying to sound like godlike or whatever, but I love when people can feel all right when something that I do makes people feel better. I love that. I love that feeling, and I think that the stage allows you to do that. That the studio allows you to do that. So definitely, and I'd like to have my own entertainment company. I think that that's something that a lot of people want to do, but this is something that I had from when I was really little. I always said Streetwalker Records. Since I heard that Streetwalker song by Michael Jackson, I said, "What a good name for a song." I'm
Yeah.
gonna name my company that one
Well,
day, and now that's the label that I have for my albums. And I'd love to sign artists and help them develop. You know, Sometimes I say the help that I didn't get in the first years, I'd
yep.
love to give talented people that chance to be showcased and to really be pushed without them having to, invest in themselves, because that's one of the main problems with developing artists, that they don't have any funding. They you know. So I'd love to give people that chance to showcase their talents, and of course, share mine with the world, my gift, because I don't think that it's mine. I think that it was, God given, and I think that
Yep.
it's important to share and give back.
So you brought God into it, and we're gonna go there. Yeah, my show goes everywhere.
Okay.
When you're performing, do you ever feel an extra sense of something else almost coming into you? The Greeks, in old Greek mythology, they had the muses. Do you ever feel that type of thing happen to you?
Um, Mm, it's an interesting question, and it's one that I'd like to answer carefully because
It's
I,
deep,
re- I
right?
right, and it's something that, yeah, I'm not very religious. Like, I don't follow religion.
Okay.
I was talking to, my friend about this yesterday. I'm not a religious man, but that's not to be confused with not being a man of faith. I am a man of faith. I have faith. I believe in a higher power. I believe that we are what we think. I believe that there is a spirit, and yes, to that question, yes, I do think. The thing is that I'm remembering this video that I saw by Michael once, that he was saying, the only thing that I did when I wanted to write Billie Jean was I said to myself, I want a song with a great, uh, bass line. And I just, was driving down Ventura Boulevard, and I just let it go. And then a few days after, dum, 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 so when you asked me that question, that came to mind, and he answered, and it was Bashir who was asking him that question, but he said, where did that come from? And he said, from above. And I do believe that. I do believe that we are what we think, and that we create our thoughts, and we can hold in our hand what we see in our mind. So yes, I don't think that there's a godlike figure, as I said, inside of me, but I do think that when I think something, I'm very good at materializing that. and I had this story, and I can't say it live because it's,
That's okay.
she might be, no, because this girl, she might be watching. But this is a true story. I'm gonna say it anyway. Um, she had blocked me from social media because she had a boyfriend, and you know how this goes. They're flirting with you, and once the boyfriend gets a hold of that, oh, you are guilty, and she has to block you, and you never hear back from her.
Yep.
And the other day, I was, well, I'm gonna share the story. I was asleep, but I was sort of meditating, and I had this like happy frequencies. I searched YouTube for a frequency that I could hear so that I could relax into meditation and all that. And I had to go pee, and I woke up and I went to the bathroom. And when I was in the toilet, I said, God, I remember that this chick exists, and I really need her to unblock me because I'm ready to talk again to her. But I don't remember, just thinking it through. I just remember that the thought crossed my mind, and I was like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm just ready for that. And I went back to bed, went to sleep, woke up like 6 or 7 hours later, and then through a friend of hers, I see a post and she's tagged, and I click on the tag, and I'm in. She had unblocked me, and she had followed me again, and it was there 6 hours later. And I don't know if it happened in the course of that moment, but I do know that I was attracting it with my thoughts, and that I made it happen, right? And this is
It's amazing what we can do, really, with
yeah.
our mind.
So
It's
taking
crazy.
a Yeah, so taking it back to the song, I think that's it's a really drifty answer, but I think that is what it is. That's how I make the music. And it happened the other day. I was hearing a record, and I said, I sort of want to do something like this, right? It sounds right.
Yep.
And then my producer called me a few like days later, and he's like, um, hey, you know what? I recorded a few sessions with some artists that are not gonna want their music anymore. Do you want to hear this beats? And we don't usually work that way, where I buy beats from him. We create the music from scratch. But he was like, "You want to hear the sound and see if you want it?" And I'm like, yeah, sure. Send it over. He sent it over, and it was exactly what I wanted. And I was like, how much do you need? And he was like, no, that's not the way that we do business and whatever. And I was like, okay. So we'll go, we'll go Splitsville with royalties and all bit. Uh, but that's that, So yeah, I do believe that happens, and I tend to attract it a lot.
Well, the fact of the matter is we create our own opportunities more than anything else. Before we end the interview, we're at about 18 minutes now. I'm going to ask you the final question I always ask everybody. Once again, everybody who wants to talk to Ian, it's scrolling somewhere down there. That's where you can find his music and stuff. But the question that
Oh
I
yeah.
end every interview with is this. So we're all locked up, or many places are still locked up. I'm not sure if you're locked up still, but we're not doing the things for our own mental health in a lot of ways. What's one
Right.
thing you've done today, not for anybody else, but for yourself, other than this interview? Because let's face it, this has been fantastic.
Right,
Uh,
right. I had the greatest time.
so what's one thing that you've done for yourself to make yourself happy?
During this time?
Yeah, other than this interview today, not
Oh,
not
today.
not all the rest of it, but today.
Well, I had a cup of coffee, and I think that the simple things in life are the most valuable. So, I literally woke up, had a shower, got ready, set up my little home stage, and made this cup of coffee, and then talked to you. So, out of the two things that I've done, uh, definitely out of the interview, aside from the interview, it's the cup of coffee. And I think it's great. I'm happy. You
That's
know,
fantastic. We're all done now. So I want everybody who's watching right now, all 5 viewers, I want you to hit that like button. It helps out the show a lot. It helps out Ian a lot because we'll have him back on when I'm more famous with my show. And Ian, how we end the show is really simple. We just say bye and we wave our hands like that. So say bye.
bye everybody. Stay home, stay safe, and thank you, Jesse, for having me. I had the greatest time.